Who doesn't love visiting a fair? Asked Sohel. Sohel is my cousin. We had been discussing our upcoming tour. Few of us suggested that visiting Darjeeling would be a great choice. Most of us agreed to the same, but I noticed Shrima was quite inattentive and was trying to avoid taking part in our conversation. I couldn't hold myself longer without asking her. I asked, "Is there any problem, Shrima?" She replied, "No." But when I insisted on that, she told that she would like to visit a village this time. I didn't know why, but I was also wanting the same. In contravention to the previously proposed suggestion, me and Srima put forward our proposal of visiting a village this time. To our great surprise, everyone conceded to our suggestion. On agreement, we started packing our luggage from the night. Our excitement was high enough to draw the angry look from our parents. But we knew they were also very happy because it was the first time when we all cousins were going for a trip. At the same time, they were quite sad as the house wouldn't be noisy anymore. In the morning, we took train from Malda. Our destination was our ancestral house in Ballargat. Our grandparents' house was located in a suburb area. The region was developing rapidly but hadn't completely worn off of its village reputation. Most of the houses were pucca houses, but some thatched soil houses kept alive its traditional village scenes. We were nostalgic during our journey. That house had been the abode during our childhood. We were fascinated by its charm, especially in the morning and evening. An inherent tranquility entirely different from chaotic city life provided a peace of heart and soul. We used to bath in a pond. It was a massive pond stretched over 10 bigha land. In the morning, our grandfather would bring some sugar cane and my grandmother would make juice from those sugar cane. I can recall very clearly that I used to drink at least 2 or 3 glasses of sugar cane juice each day. It was healthy, raw and pure, and chastised our soul too. That inexplicable bond we had developed during those days was completely unparalleled. This time we thought we would try to spend more time enjoying the village life that we had once enjoyed. But unfortunately we would miss our grandpa as he was no more. While thinking such miscellaneous things, the train pulled us to our destination. We reached our grandparents' house at 1:15. Seeing us together, grandmother got a bit emotional. She was very happy too. After lunch we started talking about our next plan. But while our discussion was on, grandmother suddenly entered into the room and told us about a village fair, traditional village fair organized by the villagers. Our excitement doubled once we listened that. Even Srima cried out in excitement. We all started laughing at her childish behavior. But intrinsically, we were keen too. Grandma told us to rest for a bit, but we couldn't sleep, and our eyes were fixed at the hands of the wall clock. It was hardly 5:00 in the evening. We couldn't control ourselves more. We went out to explore this village fair. I and Sohel took a separate way than the rest, as we wanted to explore things ourselves, and being 2 adults male, we knew our exploration would be completely different from theirs. But once we both entered the fair ground, we were shocked at the intensity of crowd. That field was densely crowded. Along the street there were numerous stalls and shops. Some of the shopkeepers were shouting to attract customers. We started feeling exhausted. We thought it would be better if we stood at a deserted corner of the field. Our desperate search led us to a less crowded place. We sighed and burst out in laughter. We had bought 2 popped to consume, and that place provided us an ideal location to eat that. I was trying to look my surroundings while consuming the popped. Suddenly my eyes got stuck at a sweaty, glistening, bright face. She was helping her father, who had set up a small book stall at this corner. I saw while she leaned to pick up a book, her disobedient hair tried to cover her face and she needed to put those over her shoulder again and again. Witnessing this, I understood immediately to what extent silky and smooth hair she got. Perhaps my fixed gaze made Sohel understand my situation. He told me, even though I was inattentive, "Let's go, we will buy 1 book. I looked at him surprised. I saw him laughing silently. Actually, I was not embarrassed because she was extraordinarily pretty. From distance, I saw her face, though it was not clearly visible because of an installed dim light, but I was convinced that she had a perfect, marvelously made, beautiful face. Even I thought her as a fairy. Slowly we proceeded towards that small bookstall. But my gaze was reluctant to look at the way they disobeyed me and continuously stared at her. I couldn't believe that a small village could ever host such an extraordinary creation of Almighty. Probably my fixed gaze made her comprehend something. She also frequently looked at us while we proceeded towards her stall. Her father was busy in talking with the customer, and she was helping her father by giving him different books he wanted to persuade the customer. She was very active, and if there was something that impressed me, it was her perseverance. A 17-years-old girl who could have beatified herself with various cosmetics like many other of her age, but she chose to help her father. I was looking at her admiringly. We stood in front of the stall, but it appeared as if our presence didn't bother her. She continued her work, but yes, a cute smile covered her face which had compounded her beauty manifold. I got possessed, I lost my speech, I couldn't utter a single word to express my inexplicable and strange inertia drew the attention of her father. Her father asked, "Kai Naiban, what do you want to buy?" But to my great astonishment I couldn't answer. Comprehending my situation, Sohul replied, "We have come to buy some books." But apparently the answer failed to quench the query of that man. He looked at me very strangely and suspiciously. Even such look was justified as he was the father of this precious jewel. Meanwhile another customer's call forced him to shift his attention. She stood up straight and proxied with that miraculous smile. I wished if I could stop the time. That indescribable beauty cast a spell upon me. It was the most beautiful, beautiful creation of the Almighty. Her slim, tall and slender, curvaceous athletic-like body made her nothing less than a dreamt fairy. Her lustrous, glossy straight hair added more charm to her beauty. She possessed a charming, radiant face with captivating and piercing eyes with rosy, plum lips. Even in the dim light, I realized that he had dusky, flawless, sun-kissed complexion. At last I could say. She appeared to me an angelic, ethereal woman with delicate and melodious tune. Perhaps she understood my condition. She asked, "Bosun, sit down," still with that captivating smile. I sat down, still gaze fixed at her, and unnoticingly I picked up a book entitled, Santhali Bashasika Learn Santhali Language. Looking at my inattentive choice, she couldn't suppress her laughter. She laughed loudly. I never knew that a laugh could be this much melodious and captivating. I wanted to look at this heavenly beauty of her laughter alone, but I couldn't prevent others from looking at her. I was desperate to stop her being looked at by others. Even I thought her father as an antagonist, a villain, as he was frequently looking at us suspiciously. Somehow I mustered courage and bravely asked her, "How much?" She replied, "Ekshotaka, 100 rupees. I became a bit more courageous and started asking her about many other books and which book would be better for me to study. She replied to my queries, but I realized she was trying very hard to suppress her laughter. Her father's frequent look disturbed me, but her melodious answers dispelled any other discomfort very easily. We spent nearly 1.5 hours at the same small bookstall. I'm not exaggerating, as it's true, I was ready to spend my life at that bookstall. After that time the crowd started dispersing and the congested ground started assuming the appearance of a deserted place with some sellers and shopkeepers bundling up their shops. I saw her father also initiated the process to close the stall. I was disappointed. I walked to distance but didn't leave the place. I understood that Sohul was getting irritated, but he didn't know that I was not able to leave her here. I thought the Almighty gave me this opportunity. I must utilize it. I noticed her mysterious smile, which expressed many things that were understood only by my heart. She knew I wouldn't desert her. She helped her father. And upon completion they started walking towards home. I, like a possessed spirit, followed her. Her frequent looking back encouraged me. I was very happy knowing that they were the inhabitants of this village where our ancestral house was located. I got to know from my grandmother that they set up a such book stall each Friday and at any fair. Her name was Trisha. She belonged to poor family, but I knew that the poverty failed to curb her immense beauty that she possessed. I was convinced that my visiting to this village had been destined. I also knew that I would have to visit this village each Friday and in festivities. Her mysterious smile was enough to take me under her control. Yes, I would be visiting the village again and again. My heart had found an inherent solace that the Supreme One prepared for me. I know what her smile meant, but I'll not tell anybody, no.